We got some trouble in paradise here, y'all. Steve Bannon, who of course is one of Donald Trump's top allies, kind of threw him under the bus. He kind of did. So headline in Newsweek here, Steve Bannon suggests Donald Trump has been bought. Wow. All right, let's get to the specifics here. Steve Bannon, the one-time advisor to Donald Trump, suggested on Saturday that the former president was paid off after a shift in stance on TikTok. TikTok, the immensely popular video sharing app known for its predominantly young audience, has once again come under scrutiny from U.S. lawmakers. The app is currently owned by Chinese tech company ByteDance, which has spurred significant suspicion that its abundance of user data is being furnished to the Chinese government. While ByteDance and TikTok have dismissed these accusations, lawmakers have continued to consider their options. A bipartisan bill put forward by members of the House Select Committee on the Strategic Competition between the United States and the Chinese Communist Party last week would work to incentivize divestment of TikTok by ByteDance by blocking it from appearing in American app stores and granting executive branch authority to take similar action in the future against social media companies operated by a foreign adversary. Lawmakers on the House Committee on Energy and Commerce advanced the legislation last week in a 50-0 bipartisan vote to the full U.S. House of Representatives. TikTok, meanwhile, characterized the bill as a ban and urged users to encourage their local representatives to block it. Despite his past stances in favor of action against TikTok for its Chinese ties, Trump, the leading candidate for the GOP presidential nomination, wrote in a Truth Social post on Thursday that he opposed the recent bill, citing his oft-repeated false claims about widespread voter fraud during the 2020 presidential election. If you get rid of TikTok, Facebook, and Zuckerschmuck, he said Zuckerschmuck, will double their business. If you get rid of TikTok, Facebook, and Zuckerschmuck will double their business, the former president wrote. I don't want Facebook, who cheated in the last election, doing better. They are a true enemy of the people. In response to this post, reports noted that the seeming shift in stance from Trump came after a meeting with Jeff Yass, a conservative hedge fund manager, who has a $33 billion stake in TikTok. Yass, according to Intelligencer, has been allegedly threatening to pull support from GOP lawmakers who back the bipartisan divestment bill. Bannon, who led Trump's successful 2016 presidential campaign and served as a White House advisor for the first several months of Trump's presidency, took to Getter to make his suspicions about the situation clear. Quote, simple, yes, coin, he wrote in a post that included a link to an Axios story about Trump's flip on TikTok. Newsweek reached out to Trump's office via email for comment on Saturday afternoon. Any responses received will be added to the story in a later update. In August 2020, Trump issued an executive order ordering ByteDance to sell its U.S. assets and destroy all data within 90 days. Quote, there's credible evidence that leads me to believe that ByteDance Limited, through acquiring all interests in musical.ly, might take action that threatens to impair the national security of the United States, the order read. Okay. So, in other words, the thing that Steve Bannon said right here, simple, yes, coin. So basically what he's saying is, simple, that billionaire's money led Trump to flip his position, and now he's against cracking down on TikTok. Okay. So, first things first. Has Donald Trump been bought? I can't believe in the year of our Lord 2024, we still have to debate this question. The evidence of that is overwhelming. Guys, in 2016, he took $1 million for his inauguration from the predatory payday loan industry. Then as soon as he took office, he dropped all of the court cases that were going after them for their nefarious practices, and he dropped all the new regulations that were about to be implemented against them. Now, that's just one example, right? But there are countless. Sheldon Adelson gave Trump or his PACs $100 million on two separate occasions, and then Sheldon Adelson basically owned and controlled foreign policy vis-a-vis Israel. This is why we had the embassy moved to Jerusalem. It's because of Sheldon Adelson's influence over Trump and that he bought Trump. That's just two examples. But again, we can go on all day. You know, these things are beyond obvious. Beyond obvious. He's been bought for so long. Now, the part that Steve Bannon won't tell you is a lot of Trump being bought happened with you as his top advisor. In fact, you knew he was being bought. You guys were all playing that game Every last one of you. And so why does it come up now? See, this is where it gets interesting. Why does Steve Bannon come up and say this now? Because there was a bill in committee to crack down on TikTok, kick it out of the App Store, and it overwhelmingly passed committee. And then now, it's going to continue through the process. Maybe eventually we'll get a full vote on it, right? And one of the main goals of the China hawks, both in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, one of the main goals has been, let's target TikTok, let's ban TikTok, let's crack down on TikTok. And Steve Bannon is a China hawk in the sense that he views them as like they're the up-and-coming superpower and we're going to be in a civilizational struggle with them. And now that Trump flips his position, he was for banning TikTok. Now he's against banning TikTok. Steve Bannon's like, well, I know why you're doing that because the Republican mega donor gave you a bunch of money and that's why you flipped your position. Is Steve Bannon correct on the facts of that? Absolutely he is. But here's the problem. Nobody should be in favor of banning TikTok. Okay, guys. We live in the United States of America. Trump signed a bill that had like a 9% approval rating or a 6% approval rating, something preposterously low, which got rid of all of your online data protections. Now, any company can sell all your data to whatever third party they want to sell it to. Trump got rid of your security protections online, your data protections online. The Patriot Act, we've had that since the War on Terror days, since the Bush days. No protection from unreasonable search and seizure. We all know about the Snowden leaks and how they're spying on you 47 ways to Sunday. There's no protection. There's no security. There's no data security. And everybody looks at all of that stuff when it's our own country spying on us or multinational corporations spying on us, and it's, yawn. But in one instance where maybe China is linked to a company that people like using TikTok, all of a sudden, no, you ban it. Really? It's singling it out. It's singling them out. And by the way, there's other ways to approach this, like, what's his face? That guy, Kevin O'Leary, who I don't like, by the way. But he came out and he was like, I'll buy it before it goes away, right? So, like, I'll be in control of it and it won't be potentially the Chinese government with the data, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, like, Trump is accidentally on the right side of an issue here for the wrong reason, right? I'm sure that Bannon is right. He was bought, and that's why he flipped his position on this. But the correct position anyway is don't ban. The idea you could just ban TikTok. How many millions and tens of millions of people like TikTok, watch TikTok, enjoy TikTok, get comedy from TikTok, get entertainment, get news stuff from TikTok? No, here's the real reason why this is happening now, and this is what nobody else is going to tell you. There is a moral panic going on around TikTok right now. Why? Because it's one of the few areas where you're actually getting good, detailed information about the genocide in Gaza. And the ADL doesn't like that, and the corporate Democrats don't like that, and the corporate Republicans don't like that. And so their response is, ban it. Heavy hand, ban it, get it out of here. The kids don't like Israel as much, can't have that, so let's ban. One of the few outlets that is doing a half-decent job in getting information to people. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's a lot of negative stuff on there too, no doubt. But I mean, stop and think about it, guys. If we got news that YouTube took a $20 million investment from a company that was linked to the Chinese government, and then there was a ban in Congress saying, we need to ban YouTube because China, data privacy, things like that, whatever. Every single one of us would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're going to ban all of YouTube because of some cockamamie 2 degrees, 2 layers and levels removed situation where you're trying to say maybe, maybe not, the data will get to the Chinese government. What are we talking about? If Saudi Arabia invests in Twitter, should all of Twitter be banned because Saudi Arabia has a lot of money there, right? Maybe they're getting the data somehow. They're accessing your DMs through some backdoor type shit. Now, that shouldn't happen. If there is some bad situation there set up where they are getting, that should be stopped, right? That should be remedied. But the idea is ban it. Get rid of it forever. That I will not abide. And by the way, look, it's astonishing to me that it took an issue like this for this douchebag to say Trump's bought. There's 87 other examples with way more real-world consequences that are horrendous of Trump being bought. And you didn't say Dickie McGee's acts about those. In fact, you supported him through all that. Now he accidentally, for the wrong reason, is on the proper side of an issue, and you're like, oh, Chinese simp. Please. Please. Here's my response to all the China hawks. See this? This is my response to all the China hawks. Go fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves. Please. So he's so concerned about the youth. God forbid China has access to, I don't know, what? Little Timmy's baseball league information? Like, what the fuck are we concerned about? Shut the fuck up. Shut up. They want to ban TikTok because TikTok is actually breaking their narrative control. That's the reality. I don't even watch TikTok. I don't care about TikTok personally. It's not my thing. But the idea, for tens of millions of people, their main source of entertainment, you're just like, fucking ban it. Imagine we did that to them, right? You know, we're going to ban all cable TV. And you get these 76-year-old senators like, oh, how you can't just do that? You can't do that. Well, that's effectively what you're trying to do to young people now, you pricks. So Bannon is right, but he didn't care about the corruption. He didn't care about Trump being bought when he was besties with him and he was in the administration with him and he supported him through all that. Now you have an example where, yes, Trump has likely been bought, but he accidentally ended up on the right side of an issue, and now it's a problem for Sloppy Steve. Spare me. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.